Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be trying to help one of my friends clear the final boss of Inferno 5. So this is the profile of my friend. He's got 46,443 combat rating currently, which is 1,250 combat rating under the CR for this boss. And he has about 10,000 resonance. He still hasn't reached a Paragon 700, so obviously he is trying to get his hands on the 2 million XP from the first clear for this boss. And this is the position that a lot of players are in because they used up the raids of Inferno 4 for their first clears and they already got the 2 million XP. A lot of players actually have to rely on Inferno 5 raids. So if you've seen my Paragon push, you know that I actually saved my Inferno 4 raids because I was running Inferno 3 all the time. And people have been asking me whether it's actually worth doing that because they think that their character's going to be a lot weaker because of that. And I think that, to be honest, in the long run, it doesn't really affect your character power because if you salvage any of those Reliquary remains, you do still get 20 Void Blood Slag from any of the difficulties, so it doesn't really matter in terms of your Reliquary level progress. The only thing that might make a small difference is the actual combat rating value that you get from the remains, but I don't think it's enough to justify claiming the first clear at a time that's not optimal, so that's why I decided to just keep running Inferno 3 until I was ready to claim Inferno 4, because I knew that I would have a rough time clearing the Inferno 5 bosses by myself. So as you can see here, this is one of the mechanics that only occurs in group fights. So in the solo clear that I didn't have to face this mechanic, but basically if you're in a two-man group or higher, the boss puts a chain between the two of you and you have to use the spikes that he's laid down to actually break the chain and move away from each other. So if you don't do that, you're going to take incremental damage until it eventually kills you. So it's really worth actually breaking the chain as fast as possible. But so far, this is actually a really rough fight. And the reason for that is because boss scaling is affected by the number of players in the raid. So I believe that when I did this solo, it had about 150 million boss health, whereas now it has 241. And I think so far my friend has unfortunately died twice, so I'm just trying to stay alive here and hopefully make it to the second phase of the boss, because this is going to give me a window of opportunity for me to actually res him. So I'm just trying to damage the boss as much as possible and hopefully get to that second phase. So I've already gone through all of the boss mechanics in my previous video, so I'm not going to go through all of them here. So far I just got hit there and it just took a ton of damage, so basically I can't really afford to get hit here. So now the boss is in the second phase and I've taken this chance now to actually res my friend. I'm just keeping an eye on the mini-map here to have a look at the magma slugs, because obviously I don't want this boss to heal. So these HP for these slugs is actually pretty low, so we're actually able to kill them really fast here. To be honest, going into this, I didn't know if we would actually be able to get the clear, because I was really worried that I didn't have enough damage for the fight. And something which I always like to keep an eye on is the enrage timer. So if I don't have enough damage, then the boss will enrage and that will cause a pulse in the whole map, which is undodgeable, and it pretty much kills everything. So even if you know the mechanics really well, which I spent time practicing these mechanics, I was still worried that this boss would go to an enrage. So let's just see how this fight plays out. Something which I also realized here is that the boss actually can do 2 lasers in a group when there's more than one player, and I'm not sure if this means that he does 8 lasers in an 8-man party. If you've run this boss in an 8-man party, then do let me know. So far I haven't really run it in a big party. I've only ran it in solo or 2-man, and this is because a lot of players are still trying to make their way to grind to 700, and I suspect once we get into next week, then there will be more players running this boss in a group. But as you can see here, we're just trying to dodge and do as much damage as we can to the boss. I'm just keeping an eye on this phase here because we need to be on the left side and we were just on the right side there. So my friend is trying to follow me here, but he looks like he's getting hit, and I kind of got hit there as well. Not sure why. It looks really strange on my screen. It looks like I was going to be safe and then I got hit. So I'm just waiting here. I'm not resurrecting instantly because I want that phase to pretty much end before I go ahead and damage the boss again. So it is kind of confusing that if that tile phase starts, you don't want to be resurrecting in the middle of it, because then you don't know which position you need to be at. It looks kind of strange while you're dead. So here my friend got hit and is dead, so now I have to find a good opportunity to resurrect him again. Maybe I'm going to wait until the third phase when the boss does his tentacles, and that will be a good opportunity to resurrect him. But usually if a player is dead on the outside of the map, you will actually be able to resurrect them, because his tentacles won't reach you and the lasers also won't reach you. But usually if the player is dead near the boss or the middle of the boss, it's actually very tough to resurrect, because the boss will just be aiming at you, which is really unfortunate. So now he's doing his tile phase again, so I'm starting on the left side. I'm always wary that after a couple of his attacks he's going to start this phase, so you want to be in the left or the middle so that you can make your way to the leftmost tile and pretty much be safe, because if you start this rotation while you're on the right side, you're pretty much guaranteed dead unless you have a bunch of dashes or something to save you. So here we go. Seems like when a player is dead he only does one laser here, so I was pretty happy about that, and there I got hit again and almost got one shot, so I'm just being really careful here. I do still have my Savior proc, but I don't really want to risk dying because I don't really have another Resurrect. I already wasted my Resurrect earlier, so it's really rough for me here because I'm not able to heal my friends, so I'm kind of under pressure and just trying to damage the boss as much as possible. So boss is at 57 million there, so I'm just hoping that I can get him into the third phase with the tentacles and then hopefully resurrect my friend. Dodged another laser there, and let's just keep going and trying to hit the boss as much as possible. But I'm definitely doing a lot more damage when my friend is alive, so I kind of really need those damage buffs. So now, getting into the third phase, thankfully I do have the time to just about res my friend. And now I'm making my way to the right tentacle first. And I think that my friend's trying to kill the left tentacle, but obviously he's not able to do that much damage currently. So there we go, just getting this right tentacle down, and then we're going to work on the left tentacle together here. So here we go. And you can see that when I have the buffs, I'm able to do a lot more damage here. Just trying to dodge these circles on the ground here, and there we go. So now we reach the final phase of the boss, and the enrage timer is about a minute. And you can see that my friend went on the leftmost side and got hit by the lava and got one shot because he was trying to get the health globes. But something curious here is it seems like the boss has become completely bugged because he isn't doing his normal attacks. And I took this chance to basically go really up close to him and start damaging him as much as possible because I'm just watching the enrage timer. So we have about 42 seconds here on the enrage timer, and the boss has about 35 health. So I was just on a race against the clock. I took this chance that the boss was actually bugged and not doing any attacks here. If you've seen my solo clear, then you'll know he continues with his rotations. There isn't really any new mechanics, but it is just the same rotation in a smaller map here. So I'm really not able to res my friend at all. So he's in the lava, as you can see, getting burnt. So unfortunately I'm just gonna stay solo here and just try to kill the boss, but it looks like he got unbugged. I'm not too sure here because he's doing the tile mechanic, or maybe he's still bugged but he just has to do this tile mechanic. So now he's at 10 million and about 5 seconds left until the enrage. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill him in time. 2 seconds left for the enrage. He's just enraged with 3 million, and there's the pulse that I was talking about, almost wiped me out. I just about managed to get the clear here, which is just insane, and I was really surprised I typed bug in the chat. And yeah, I have a suspicion that maybe potentially the boss was trying to target him and he died at the exact same time that the boss targeted him, so that's probably why that happened there. We actually got a Heliquary breach here, and I'm not going to bore you guys watching this. I was just really happy to actually be able to help my friend. He did get the clear and did get the 2 million XP, and I think that he did reach Paragon 700 about half an hour or so after this clear was done. So thank you so much for watching. This was one of the most tense raid clears that I had, and I was really happy that I was able to help out here. To be honest, I'm not sure if I could have handled another 5 seconds on the enrage, so I probably would have died from that. And I'm not sure if this clear is going to be repeated, because if this bug doesn't occur again, then probably I won't have enough time to kill the boss. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this kind of content, then please do consider sharing and liking my video, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.